I've always considered myself pretty tech-savvy. I love gadgets, smart home systems, and, most importantly, security. Living alone in a quiet suburban neighborhood, I felt it was essential to have extra protection. That's when I decided to install a security camera system around my house. I got a few high-definition cameras that covered the front yard, the back door, and the driveway, along with motion sensors linked to my phone. I felt safe knowing I could keep an eye on things even when I wasn't home. But looking back now, I never could have predicted how those cameras would change my life, nor how quickly my sense of safety would turn into dread. It was a typical evening, a little after sunset. I had just finished dinner and was sprawled on the couch, watching some mindless TV when my phone buzzed. I glanced at the screen and saw a notification from my security app. The notification said, "Motion detected at the front yard." Now, I'd gotten these alerts before. It was usually a cat passing by or maybe a gust of wind moving a bush, nothing to worry about. But tonight, something was different. I opened the app to check the live feed, just out of curiosity. At first, everything looked normal, just the faint light from the street lamp casting shadows on the sidewalk. But as I zoomed in, I froze. There was someone standing near my front gate, right outside my property. I could barely make out the figure, but they were definitely there. I thought maybe it was a neighbor. Sometimes people walk their dogs in the area. But this felt different. The person was standing completely still, almost like they were waiting for something. Or worse, waiting for someone. The window is on the side of the house, and it's a large glass pane. The person was facing it, standing still, just looking at the house. I had no idea if they could see me through the window, or if they were just trying to get a closer look at the inside of my home. I tried to calm myself by rationalizing the situation. Maybe they were just another confused person who had gotten lost in the dark, but I knew deep down that didn't explain the stillness, or the fact that they hadn't moved in nearly half an hour. The police arrived shortly after that, but by then the person had vanished. They weren't in the yard or down the street. It was as if they had disappeared into thin air. The officers did a quick sweep of the area but found nothing. They told me that sometimes people just wander around late at night, but I could see the look in their eyes. They didn't seem convinced either. They took my footage for further investigation, but the whole thing left me unleveled. Over the next few days, I kept hearing about strange sightings in my neighborhood. People had seen a figure walking around, peering through windows and lingering near doors at odd hours. No one thought much of it at first, but the more I looked into it, the more I realized that this person had been creeping around for weeks. I couldn't shake the feeling that I had been the target all along. Maybe they had been watching me, studying my routines, or worse, waiting for the right moment to strike. The police told me that they had no solid leads and that they couldn't do much without more evidence, but I couldn't just sit idly by and wait for something bad to happen. From that moment on, I doubled down on my security. I installed more cameras, added floodlights around the property, and even started getting motion sensors for every single window and door. I also changed the settings on my security system so I would get instant alerts anytime something even slightly moved outside my house. I began sleeping with my bedroom door locked and the blinds shut tight every night. Every little sound outside made me jump, and I couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching me. Months passed, and nothing else happened. The figure never returned, but I couldn't help but stay hyper-aware. The police did follow up on the footage I provided, but they never found out who the person was. To this day, I have no clue why they were hanging around my house that night or what they wanted. I can't tell you what would have happened if I hadn't checked that security camera. I don't know if they would eventually try to break into my house, or if they were just trying to intimidate me. But I'll tell you this, I'll never look at my security cameras the same way again. They went from being a sense of comfort to a reminder of how vulnerable we can be even in our own homes. So if you have security cameras, check them often. Trust your instincts, and don't ignore those strange feelings. You never know what or who might be watching.